Welcome to Beast the Odds. Tonight, we have an NBA Top Shot pack opening. We got our college basketball expert, Chris Hogan. Hours a day would you say you spent watching college basketball?
Oh man, I don't even hardly want to admit that. Really, if you look at the schedule and there's a college basketball game on, I'll probably be watching it. Whether it's an early morning game, start tipping off at like 9 or 10 a.m. up until the late West Coast games that go into the next day. I'm watching the game no matter what it is.
All that and more on Beast the Odds. Hey Siri, what fantasy sports podcast should I listen to?
Beast the Odds. Fantasy sports and sports investing with your host, 12-time DFS champion qualifier and counting, 5-time MVP season MLB Fantasy Pros HR champion, back-to-back years.
Nostradamus.
Welcome to Beast the Odds. It's that time where we open a pack. That's how we start out every episode. If you were with us last week, you saw this. Yeah, that's true. All right, here's number 2. We got number 13, Zion Williamson.
Whoa!
Oh, damn.
Very
that's a
nice.
big hit right there. So we're not going to make the same mistake twice. I got a pack myself. Let's pull that pack up. So we are going to open the pack ourselves. After what happened last time, we're not going to experience that again. We have a pack. This is a pack they almost gave to. I'm not going to get those prices for those cards anymore. These are the packs they gave to for everyone for being lab rats in the beginning while no one else could sign up. They're like, all right, if you're here before this time, we'll give you a pack. So I showed up at 12 p.m., right when it started. I didn't get this pack until 7 p.m. at night. Obviously, I spent my day living my day. But let's open this pack. Here we go. Let's get a LaMelo. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Number 1. Number 197 handles Malik Beasley. I love Malik Beasley. He's actually on my fantasy basketball team this year. He's having a great season. He went out with Larsa Pimpin to start the year. I don't know if they're still together, but number 197, that's a very low serial number. We'll have to check that out after this episode to see how much we can probably get for that. All right, number 2, here we go. Let's go. Number 32377, Kevin Durant. With the dunk. One of my friends is actually dating Kevin Durant, and that's a nice dunk right there. KD on what? Is that on Bertans? Come on now. Anyone can dunk on Bertans. 149 to 146. And the Nets lost that game 32377. Now, the thing about the serial numbers is the lower the serial number, the more people will pay for the card. And if it's also a number that they like, they might pay more for the card too. Like I've seen number 444 go for like thousands when everything else is going for 250. All right, here we go. Number 3, LaMelo. 22897, Eric Gordon. He's actually on my fantasy team too. With the layup, little touch on Montrezl Harrell. Whatever. Let's see how much this Malik Beasley goes for. That's what we care about right now. Get out of here. All right, we get it. Nice Eric Gordon layup. You know what? I should cherish every top shot moment because you always have to top shot everything. You have to top shot everything. I don't even know what that means. What does he have? I believe, yeah, as the handles. Well, the lowest ask is $7. The highest sell is almost a couple K. Oh, wait. See, look at this. See, this is what I'm talking about. Someone spent $1,500 just because it was 326222. So I'm gonna play a little. Watch this. 777. Yes, place for sale. So $777. We're gonna place that for sale. And next time we're doing this show, I'll let you know what happens to that Malik Beasley. Welcome back to Beast the Odds. We now got our March Madness edition. Now, I don't watch college basketball. There's too many sports right now for me to watch. So instead, I decided to go after someone that I trust. I found him on Twitter. He looks like he knows exactly what he's talking about. So I'm excited to introduce you to Chris Hogan.
Thanks for having me. Love watching college basketball, watch it all season, and kind of the main sport I like to focus on. So excited to be here.
Awesome. We need a college basketball expert, so you're going to be our guide. The Beast Dome Nation is going to look to you because you're a college student. And when you're a college student, college basketball is prime in your life. Am I right?
That's right. That's right.
All right. Well, let's jump straight into it right away. There's 4 conferences in the March Madness bracket. We'll talk about each of them. Why don't we start with the West? Tell us what you think.
Yeah, so the West, Gonzaga's by far the favorite, obviously, number 1 team coming into the tournament here. And they definitely have a pretty easy path to the Final Four. You know, they got Iowa as a 2 seed, Kansas as a 3 seed, and Virginia as a 4 seed. All of those teams Gonzaga's already beat this season by double digits. So Gonzaga is obviously the team I like, the team I'm taking to the Final Four, but that's kind of a boring pick here for the show. One team that I like here out of the West is Oregon. They're the 7 seed, matching up here in the first round against VCU. This Oregon team comes into this game as the Pac-12 regular season champions. They struggled a little bit in the conference tournament, but I think they get that kind of turned around here. They've shot the ball very well from beyond the arc, knocking down 37.9% from the 3. Their first round matchup here, they're playing VCU. VCU is not a great 3-point shooting team, only hitting 32.9%. So I think they have a pretty easy matchup here against the VCU team. In the second round, that'll set them up against Iowa as a 2 seed, and I really do like that upset. I think that's one of my favorite upsets of the first and second round here of this first weekend. This Iowa team is just not a team that I've loved all season. So this Oregon team is definitely a team to look at if you're looking for some upsets, a team to take late. I think they can make a Sweet 16 run for sure, maybe even further than that.
Okay. So. I love all those takes. Like, this is exactly what the Beast Dome Nation needs, is you leading the way in college basketball. Let's talk about Gonzaga really quick.
Jalen Suggs is kind of that guy this year. Mark Few up for Coach of the Year this year. Gonzaga, coming to this game undefeated on the season, it's hard not to like this Gonzaga team.
Wow, Mark Few's still doing it. He was coaching back when I was in middle school. That's amazing that he's there. All right, so Gonzaga for the West. Why don't you walk us through the East?
Yeah, so the East is kind of the region in the bracket that I think a lot of people predict a lot of upsets here. And one team that I'm kind of looking at here is Colorado. They're the 5 seed, and they match up here in this first round against Georgetown. Now, Georgetown got pretty lucky to make it to the tournament in general. They ended up winning the Big East tournament. I think they're 13-12 on the season. So barely just snuck into this tournament to begin with. And this Colorado team is the top free throw shooting team in the country. They're hitting 83% from the free throw line, and they're just a really good team. And I think what I really like, a lot of people love taking 12 seeds as upsets because historically 12 seeds have done pretty well in the tournament. But this Colorado team did lose to Oregon State in the Pac-12 tournament, and Oregon State comes into this game or into the tournament as a 12 seed, obviously in a different region. So I think that Colorado, having already lost essentially the 12-5 game, is going to take this one a little more seriously, be ready for Georgetown here in this one. And that would set them up in the second round, probably to play Florida State. And really, this Colorado team, I like them to beat Florida State, and I like them going on next round. They're going to match up with the 1 seed in Michigan. And that's kind of, I keep liking this Colorado team. There's not a ton of people necessarily on this Colorado team nationally, but little sneak peek, if you look at some of my stuff, I actually like Colorado in the Final Four. So that's kind of my big take here in the East. Some other teams you can look at, Alabama, obviously a good basketball school this year, winning the SEC and the 2 seed here in the region. Texas, also a pretty good team. They won the Big 12. They're a 3 seed. Shaka Smart's got them looking good. So those are a couple teams that I would look out here in the East.
Let's talk about Colorado. So look, who's their star player? What NBA comparison would you give to their star player?
They got a big guy down low who can rebound the ball very well. And this team in general, really the thing that sticks out to me, the thing I loved watching them all season, is their free throw shooting. They're just an unbelievable free throw shooting. You know, at the end of games, if you're betting on this team, they're not going to screw you over missing free throws. So that's really why I like this Colorado team here so much.
That is definitely a factor in college basketball, is the free throw shooting, those clutch moments. You didn't mention Michigan much. What do you think?
Yeah, so Michigan's got a couple injuries, kind of bringing them down. They kind of struggled a little bit here later in the season. Didn't do as great as I guess I would like to have seen them in the Big Ten tournament there. I kind of like teams more like Ohio State or something out of the Big Ten here in the tournament. So I'm not too high on this Michigan team, that's for sure.
Okay, let's go to the South. What do you like there?
Yeah, so the South is kind of my most chalk region, that's for sure. Don't have a whole lot of upsets here in the South. One upset that everyone's kind of on here in the South, going back to that 12-5 matchup again, is Winthrop over Villanova. Villanova, I think the reason most people like this is Colin Gillespie of Villanova, who was their star player all season. He went out a few weeks ago, I believe, with a torn ACL. So they haven't really been the same team since then. However, I do like this Villanova team. They've just got a good roster in general outside of Gillespie. And while they did kind of struggle in the Big East tournament, I think Jay Wright's gonna have this team ready to battle here in the first round against Winthrop. Baylor and Ohio State are kind of the two big boy teams coming out of this region. Really, I think you can't go wrong taking either of those to the Final Four. So yeah, this region, not a whole lot of upsets, I don't predict. I think this one's going to be pretty straightforward, favorites winning most of the games here.
North Carolina, they've historically been, the top college basketball program. What's going on with them? Do you like them to make any type of run, or one and done? What do you think?
Yeah, so this North Carolina team, the whole ACC this season was kind of down. Obviously, Duke outside of the tournament, not showing up. And this North Carolina team, well, they had runs this season. They're definitely not one of my favorites. I really liked Wisconsin here. This Wisconsin team, up until honestly the month of February, they were a really good team. I was, had them predicted in some of my stuff, possible Final Four team that could make a run if they won some games. Unfortunately, some of that went the other way for them. But I do like this Wisconsin team over North Carolina here. But really, whichever team ends up winning that game, I think Baylor's going to have a definitely some trouble with in the second round.
Okay. So the South seems pretty straightforward. How about the Midwest?
So the Midwest might be, I guess, one of my more controversial takes of the tournament. Loyola Chicago at an 8 seed here, playing Georgia Tech. Both those teams very good, and Georgia Tech made a heck of a run. We had a lot of, I guess, middle of the road teams winning conference tournaments, and Georgia Tech was one of those in the ACC. But this Loyola Chicago team, well, they don't necessarily have any huge marquee wins in the season. They just played really good basketball in the Missouri Valley, and I've loved watching them all season. And I think they're just a really undervalued team at an 8 seed here. They come in as the 9th ranked team in the KenPom rankings, which is kind of college basketball statistical rankings for anyone who doesn't know. And then that's 9th overall in the country, not a 9 seed. And that's why I really like them. I actually think Loyola Chicago is going to upset Illinois here in the second round. A lot of people have Illinois as the hottest team in the country right now, which I do think they are very good, but I think there's just way too much value on this Loyola Chicago team not to take them here. Another team that I like out of the region here, Cade Cunningham and Oklahoma State. Obviously, you got to watch out for him. Probably going to be the number 1 overall pick in the NBA draft. So definitely, and they play, blanking on the team they play in the first round. I think they play Liberty in the first round. Liberty, not a bad basketball team. Probably going to be a pretty low-scoring game, I would guess, between Oklahoma State and Liberty. But if Cade and Cunningham here in Oklahoma State can hold on for a couple games, they're going to definitely make some noise in the tournament. But the team that I personally like out of this region to make the Final Four is West Virginia. Now, West Virginia, they had some not great losses here to close out the season, kind of dropped them down. some people's brackets. They were up near a 2 seed, maybe a potential 1 seed up points during the season. And they're a really good team as far as shooting the basketball. They hit a lot of threes, have a pretty good team just in general. Their really weakness is on defense. And I think if they can play even semi-decent defense here in some of these games, they have a real good chance to make a run in the tournament.
Let's talk about this Cunningham guy, number 1 pick overall. What type of NBA player would you compare him to?
I would. It's a good question. Man, I don't know. I'm not the biggest NBA guy. I guess I would probably compare him, maybe to like Kevin Durant. Maybe might be a comparison I would give him. Yeah, he's just a fun player to watch. He won Big 12 Player of the Year. So definitely, if you get a chance to check out Oklahoma State in the tournament, definitely take up on that.
Wow, Chris, amazing. Well, we're definitely going to be having you on throughout this entire March Madness tournament. And you can follow Chris on his Twitter at Hot Tip Bets to see more of his information. It's going to be a beast week. We'll have Chris back soon. On to the next one.
Follow me on at Hot Tip Bets and whatnot, and look forward to talking some more college basketball.
You can get Chris's brackets and Chris's picks for free. Send an email to beast@beastdome.com. Who would not want Chris on their side for March Madness? That guy, he's a prodigy. And with that, let's conclude our episode with a fantasy baseball take. Now, everyone in the fantasy baseball community, the quote-unquote experts, have Kyle Tucker as the number 9 outfielder in fantasy baseball. The number 9 outfielder, the number 38 overall pick. Kyle Tucker is just a tall, lanky guy with no power. If we want to get statistical here, even though there's no reason to, because you can judge a book by its cover on this one, but he's got 13 home runs over 340 at-bats. Okay, spread across 3 different seasons. Now, if anyone's like, oh, if he gets 600 at-bats, that's 25 home runs. First of all, it's very hard to be productive through an entire season of fantasy baseball. It's a long stretch, many games, bodies tire out. But this guy, he's not even that great. He's not even like a 300 hitter. This guy's never hit higher than 270 his entire life, all right? His entire life. And people have him as a number 9 outfielder in fantasy baseball. Might be number 8. It's changing between those two all the time. They have him ranked ahead of guys like Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge, yes, everyone knows who Aaron Judge is, yet everyone still has Kyle Tucker as a must draft. Take him with the number 38 pick outfielder for your fantasy baseball team. It's just absolute garbage. Now, if you're one of those people and you don't agree with my picks, right, I'm giving you the opportunity to play against me, all right, and beat the Beast Fantasy Baseball Challenge. You can find more information on beastdome.com. You can win money. You can get exposure. I'll have people on Beast the Odds, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. Fantasy baseball is a long season. It's a big stretch sport before football starts. You're going to need it in your life. I'm not going to give you the draft guide because you're going up against me. But you can read more at beastdome.com. And with that, that is the end of Beast the Odds tonight. I'm Muntradamus. Have a beast rest of your week. Beast!